Hi, everyone. My name is Megan, and I'm a medical student at Rutgers Robert Wood Johnson Medical School. This is How to Be a Super Friend. Today, we are talking about something called spinal muscular atrophy, and I found a book that we can read together in order to talk about it. So, if you want to go to your internet browser, this is what you're going to do. You will type in at the top screen together in SMA.com. And on the home page, this is what you will see. You will click Read Now, and this page will pop up. Now, if you want, you can actually download this ebook so that you can read it at home. Or you can click here on full screen. And this is almost exactly like reading a real physical book with real paper pages. You can even pretend to turn the pages, or just click the arrows and you'll go to the next page. So this story is going to teach us all about spinal muscular atrophy. And I am so grateful that this website called Together in SMA made this book so that you and I can read it at home, and we don't even have to pay for it. With our internet connection, we're able to learn about this disability and what life is like for those who have it. So if you want to take some time to read this book with me, go ahead, take all the time you need, maybe even ask someone at home to read it with you, and then we will come back here and talk about it. Enjoy! Did you like Zach's Playday? I know I really did. I thought that the pictures in the book, or the illustrations as they're sometimes called, were really beautiful. I loved seeing the different animals. We saw Zach's zebra family, the elephants, giraffes, hippopotamus. I probably missed a few animals. There were quite a few in those pages. And one of the other things that I really liked about the illustrations was that we could see all of Zach's medical supplies. So these were the things in his home, or the things that he brings to school, that help him stay healthy and strong with his SMA. So I think on the first page of the story, we saw Zach's bedroom, and we could see his wheelchair right away. And I think it had a rocket ship sticker on it, which I really liked. So Zach was clearly trying to show that he loves rocket ships and put it on his wheelchair so all of his friends and classmates can see. And we also saw a breathing machine in his room. So as Zach explained, SMA affects how our muscles develop. And one thing that's important to remember with muscles is that muscles actually affect how we breathe. So in order to take in a deep breath like this, and why don't you take in a deep breath at home with me? So in order to do that, sure, my lungs are working, but also my muscles in my body are helping me move like this so that I get air in my lungs and I can send oxygen to all of my organs, like my brain, like my heart, so that they all work at the same time and keep me healthy. So some people with SMA may need breathing machines. Maybe they need them all the time, maybe just sometimes, but basically that's why Zach probably has that in his room at home, so that he can make sure that he's breathing well and getting oxygen all over his body. Something else that I really liked about Zach's Playday is how Zach took some time to explain to his friends and his classmates that not every person with SMA is exactly the same. And I bet this makes sense to you, because as you're watching me now talking about the book, I bet you're noticing some things about you and I that may be different. So not everyone at home is probably watching this in a white coat. Not everyone watching this may be in medical school. Really, there's so many things that make you and I different. And really, that's a great thing, because wouldn't the world be so boring if we were all exactly the same? But just to get back to SMA, clearly not every patient is exactly the same. So while Zach was talking about his experience and what his life is like with SMA, another person that has SMA may be a little bit different, and that's okay. It's just important to remember that not every person with SMA is exactly the same. So if you remember, Zach showed a few pictures of his friends. His one friend is in a wheelchair too, but hers kind of lies flat, almost like a hospital bed on wheels. And she was connected to a breathing tube. So Zach's friend's wheelchair is a bit different than his, but it still allows her to go outside her home and live her life and get around and be as strong and healthy as she possibly can be. Just like how Zach's wheelchair allows him to do the exact same thing. Your wheelchairs just look a little bit differently. Zach's other friend had something like a walker that helps him get around. So his muscles may have developed in a slightly different way than Zach's muscles, or how your muscles developed. I think you get the idea. Basically, we're all different in some way or another. And that's what makes the world so interesting. And then I wanted to talk about one other thing in this story. So I thought Zach was incredibly brave and well-spoken. I can't imagine taking some time and sitting down with so many classmates and explaining something that I have been through. Maybe I would feel comfortable talking to, 5 classmates, but Zach was really talking to a lot of other animals. And I think it's okay if you ever meet someone with a disability, or even if you meet someone who's been through something a bit different than you. So for example, if you ever met someone with SMA, or if you ever met someone who had moved from a faraway state and you want to know what that's like, I do think it's okay if you want to ask them questions. But can you imagine how it would feel if people were always asking you these questions? They always were demanding answers out of you. They always wanted to know what your life is like and always were just asking. That may get a little tiring. So, one nice thing that you can do, and really, I think this is a way that you can be a super friend, is that before you ask that question, say, hey, is it okay if I ask you about this? Then that way, your friend or this new person that you're meeting, they have the option to answer, but they also can say, you know what, no, I don't want to talk about that. And then maybe you can start talking about something else, like what you watched on TV last night, or what's going on with your friends, your neighbors. So basically, it's okay to ask questions, but be mindful if you're asking a lot in a row, and maybe give your friend the opportunity to say, you know, I'd rather not answer questions right now. So, as great as that story was, I was thinking it may be nice if we all could meet someone that has spinal muscular atrophy. Meet a person who has it, even though it was pretty cool to see how it would look like in a zebra. So if you want to meet someone with spinal muscular atrophy, we are going to go back to the internet. Let me just get out of this. So if you click the X, that'll get you out of the book. And then we're going to go to YouTube. And in YouTube, you're going to type in Spinraza. So that's a big word. Spinraza. And then there's a colon. And this is Zach's story. So how crazy is that? That we have Zach's Playday, and this book is called Zach's Story. So clearly, the zebra and our Zach here are a bit different, but they do have the same name. And if you want to watch this video, you're going to meet Zach here, who has spinal muscular atrophy, and he lives in England. Now, this video is actually talking about a medication for spinal muscular atrophy, which you can watch the whole video if you want. But if you watch to about 1 minute and 20 seconds, you'll actually see a few pictures of Zach, pictures of him in the hospital, pictures of what his life is like at home. And I think that short clip that's just over a minute long does a great job of showing what life is like for someone with spinal muscular atrophy and his family. All right, so I hope that you enjoyed reading our story today. And I hope that you enjoyed meeting Zach on YouTube. As always, I hope you had a great time watching these videos, and I'll see you next time on how to be a super friend. Bye.